Now today we're going over the very popular Purolator oil filters. They have their Classic, their One, and their Boss filter. Obviously there are price points to consider along with the type of oil, the mileage, so on and so forth. So we'll go over all the details regarding every single filter that you see here, and then we will wrap up the video by cutting open each filter and just seeing what the construction is like. We'll take a measurement on the square inches and that sort of thing. So, that being said, let's begin. Now before we begin, I'm going to do this not incredibly fast. It's around 15 degrees out. It's quite cold. So if I'm moving a little slow, I apologize. But that being said, let's start with the Classic filter. As you can see right off the bat, take a look at the spacing here. This is a very nicely made filter. Not only is the spacing really nice, but take a look at the glue. Now here's the glue right there, where the filter meets the end caps. Very nicely made. You know, it's interesting in a sense. When we cut open the Royal Purple and the AmSoil, you're talking $17, $19 filters, and the gluing was sort of messy. Not saying that it didn't do the job, meaning it wasn't a well-made filter regarding the performance, but just the gluing was messy. This is very, very nice. This really is. Now this runs for around $6.50. You can run conventional or high mileage. That's what they recommend, or what I would even recommend. If you're running fully synthetic, go with a more expensive filter. And the reason behind that really is because these filters will last longer. They're made to last longer. This is good for 5,000 miles. The One is 10,000 miles, and the Boss is 15,000 miles. So if you're running synthetic that will last longer than conventional motor oil, you know, pay the extra couple dollars, go with the One or the Boss, and we'll go into that kind of detail in a moment. So this is around $6.50, and every filter here is made for the same vehicle. So $6.50. Again, conventional, high mileage. Efficiency rating, in other words, how well it filters the oil, is 96.5%. So roughly 97%. The One filter is 99. The Boss is 99 plus. So probably 99.9. I mean, you could do a really, really good job. Chances are with this guy. Now, when it comes to the anti-drain back valve, that's this component. It lives right here in the filter, okay? As you see, or as you can see, on the One filter and the Boss, it's a different material. Now, what this does is when you turn off the vehicle, instead of having all the engine oil drain back into the filter, some is left over in the engine. That's what this component is doing. So the next time you start the vehicle, you don't have a dry start. So it's essentially a safety feature. But the main difference between these two components is the one on my right is silicone, the one on my left is rubber. Now silicone does a much, much better job when it comes to very low temperatures and very high temperatures. This can withstand temperatures a lot better than rubber. You find rubber on Extra Guard, your blue STP, the cheap or the cheapest STP oil filter, that's rubber. The silicone you find on, as you can see, the One, the Boss, Wix XP, AmSoil, Royal Purple, Mobile One, Fram Pro Synthetic, they use the rubber, excuse me, the silicone anti-drain back valve. So that's what that little component does. And again, mileage, or how many miles you can use the filter, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 miles, and they're all made in the USA. Okay, now coming over to this guy. Oh, also, before we even do that, regarding the media, this is a cellulose, most likely a cellulose type of media. Now that could be cellulose, polyester, fiberglass, but it's not synthetic. Your more expensive filters will be synthetic. This is a blend, and that's full synthetic. So what you tend to see with oil filters is when they run synthetic, they last longer. They're really better suited for synthetic motor oil. On your cheaper filters, they're usually a cellulose or a cellulose blend. Now coming over to this guy, this runs for $8, so it's $1.50 more than the Classic. This is the Purolator One, but the miles, again, you can get up to 10,000 miles with this guy. The media is a synthetic blend, so chances are it's a little of this and a little of this all mixed into one. The color looks to be about the same, but nevertheless, this is a superior material when it comes to the actual media type. This you can use high mileage motor or synthetic. 99% efficiency rating again. End caps are metal, as you can see, on all three filters, and the metal tube, or the center tube, excuse me, is metal on all three as well. So very, very high quality. I tell you, for the money, these are really nice oil filters. You know, we've cut open quite a number of oil filters. This is a very, all three are very, very nicely made, I have to admit. Oh, one other thing before we go on here. One other thing, on top of every filter, you have a bypass valve. What this also does is, if for some reason, if let's say the media is just very clogged, or for whatever the reason it can't filter the motor oil and it starts to inhibit the flow of oil, there's a little spring built into this. On some filters you can actually move it, but nevertheless there's a spring built into this. So if this gets clogged up, there's a little valve that would open on top of this oil filter that will allow oil to keep circulating throughout the engine. So again, another safety device. But just look at the construction on these filters. Very, very nice. And then lastly, coming over to the Boss, again, your anti-drain back valve is silicone. And look at, again, the construction on this. Very, very nicely made. I don't think it's wire backed. In other words, on some filters, there's a wire backing built in underneath the media. Wix XP, M-Soy, Royal Purple, they're all wire backed. I don't think this is wire backed, but nevertheless, we'll find out when we cut open the filter. But nevertheless, just a very, very nicely made filter. Again, with the glue. Interestingly enough, the glue is a little bit different. Look at that. Different types of glue. That's interesting. But a very, very nice oil filter for sure. $12. You can run fully synthetic with this. Obviously, you probably, I mean, what else would you run, to be quite honest? You spend $12 on a filter, get fully synthetic, because you can go up to 15,000 miles here. Efficiency rating 99+%, so 99.5, let's say. So a very, very good job, top-notch job regarding efficiency. 100% synthetic media, and good up to, again, 15,000 miles. When I was cutting open the cap, this was extremely thick. I mean, even if I try to squeeze this, this is a very, very strong cap, even compared to the other filters we've cut open in the past. I mean, look at the main difference. Look at this. And this is normal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say this is cheap by any means, but the cap on this is extremely strong. The other one that was very strong as well was K&N, but this is, you know, if I had some kind of tool that can test the burst pressure on this, but man, I tell you, that's a very, very nice cap on this thing. And of course, on the bottom, this is just a spring that's in all the filters that just keep everything together. High quality, of course, when it comes to the gaskets. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inlet holes. Let's check the other ones here real quick before we cut open the filters. Let's see what this guy's got. This has the same thing. It looks like it's probably, they're probably all the same. This actually looks to be a little bit thicker, the diameter. Just the gasket is a little bit different on it. That's it. Yeah, let's do this so you guys can see this. So, yeah, so a little bit different regarding the gaskets. So, pretty cool stuff. So again, just to quickly go over what we have here before we start cutting things open. $6.50, $8, $12. Oil type, conventional or high mileage. This would be high mileage or synthetic blend, or even synthetic. This, again, run fully synthetic. Efficiency 96.5. This is 99. This is 99 plus. Media type, this is most likely a cellulose or polyester type of blend. This is a synthetic blend, so it's probably these two put together. And this is 100% synthetic. Anti-drain back valve, again, rubber here. And these guys have silicone. Again, that does a better job regarding temperatures. And miles, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 miles. Again, the cap on this thing, wow, really, really strong cap here. So let's go ahead and start cutting open the filters. Now once we cut open the filters and spread out the media, this is what we have. Square inches wise, the Classic is at 96, the Purolator 1 has 100, it's a little bit longer, and the Boss is 86. Now don't let that deter you. With most manufacturers out there, their highest end oil filter tends to be a little bit shorter in terms of the square inches of surface area, and that's because of the material. This material does a better job with not only filtration, it's good up to 15,000 miles. And take a look at that weaving. This is the one, that's a blend, again that's a synthetic blend, and this is the Classic. That's again cellulose, could be polyester, fiberglass, that sort of thing. So this does, as you can see, big difference in that sense in terms of the actual material. And you know, we've cut open Fram, Mobile One, K&N, Royal Purple, Amsoil, STP, and you know, there are some filters that have stood out to me, but these are really nice, I have to admit. I've never used these personally because my local auto parts store just doesn't carry them. Nobody's paying me to do these videos. These stand out. These are really nice filters, especially for the money. If you want to nitpick, you could say, well, they're not wire backed. That's true. Nothing here is wire backed. You know, wire backing, what it does is it keeps the conformity of the filter. Same with house furnace filters. The higher end ones are metal back, so it doesn't lose their shape. So yeah, you could say that for sure. But these are high quality. You know, for the one for $8, you get a lot for the money. You really do. Even the Boss for 12 bucks. So thank you for watching. After this, we will have Man. A lot of you guys actually have it right over here. I already cut this open, but it is just so cold that my toes are freezing. So we'll do that another day. And then after this, we will have a disassembly video of the 240Z that we're working on, complete engine disassembly. So that will be up soon. If you want to see other oil filter videos, I'll include a link in the description box below that have all the filters we've done. And until then, thank you for watching.